Well, welcome back to another episode of Now That's a Show. This episode is about Jersey messaging. And not New Jersey, New Jersey messaging.
I've learned a lot. I have learned a lot.
So it's when athletes tell us how to think. When athletes tell us how to think. And it really has to do with their messaging on their actual uniform / jerseys. And it's really been pervasive the past couple of weeks. And at least I saw it really brought attention. This weekend brought attention to it with me, and especially in college football. And I had some thoughts on it that, all fine and good that they put these messages on the jersey. I have no problem with it. They want to put whatever they want on the jersey, and the school says okay, and whatever, fine. That's not what's at issue here. What's really at issue here is what opportunities they are missing by not putting certain things on the jerseys, especially when dealing with their constituency and their audience. They have a great opportunity that I think is being missed. And that's really what we're going to talk about here. But really, it stems from them basically telling us how we need to think and how we need to act.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So I have this I bought this body wash, right? And it said that there was 50% more in it, right?
Then
where's the 50%? Is it in the beginning? So it's like you're like, oh, until it gets halfway down, I'm washing for free? Is it the end where I'm like, man, I'm on borrowed time? Is it all mixed in the middle? Where's the free, when you get when it says 25% free, this or that, where's the free?
That's a good question. Well, plus the fact that there's 50% more, does that mean that they're still the same price?
I mean,
we assume it is, right?
Yeah.
But if it's
I haven't done the research.
If it's a $4 bottle of what, say, Gina Tay?
Yeah, Gina Tay.
Okay. $4 bottle of Gina Tay, and they say 50% more. Powder. Does it cost $6 now?
Right.
It probably does.
And if it was a bigger jar for
jar. So like Paquin's Noxema.
I was just curious about that. Like, where's the 50%? Mentally, is it just equally blended through the whole thing? Is it in the beginning? Because I just bought it, right? So I'm in the beginning of this thing.
So you're just saying this doesn't even count if it's at the beginning, right?
Yeah, it's like it's free. Like, is it like healthcare where it's like the free part? I just lather it all up.
Well, speaking of healthcare, is it like your deductible? Like early on, you're like, I gotta pay that, but I'll get to the point where I can just
now it's just
I'm loving it.
I love this. I don't know when to use way more for no reason. In the beginning or at the end? Because if I use up all the free stuff in the beginning, and then I have to ration the second half because that's what I paid for, I just need to know this. I don't know what to do.
It's Gina Tay too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but you don't have a baseline. You didn't know what it cost before to compare it to.
Right. Like there's no line. Well, I guess I could if it's 50%.
Well, but is it? My question is it 50% more cost too? They can give you 50% more. Say, now 50% more, but they charge you 50% more.
Man, now I have to think completely different in the shower.
Gina Tay.
Anyway.
Oh, by the way,
what were we talking about here?
We might have a special guest that doesn't know that they're a special guest.
Right.
Because let's just say hypothetically, that you're on a cell phone call with somebody, and let's just say somebody you're close to, right? And you're talking to them, and they're not happy about the fact that maybe you didn't call on the way home or whatever. I'm just throwing things out here.
Right? It's a good example.
And you didn't call, and you're coming over to do the show, and then they talk to you, and they're angry, and they tell you that they're angry, and they think they hang up on you. They think they hang up, but they didn't.
Right.
The call's still alive. And they should go, gee, let's just see where this goes. So you put it on speaker.
Let's just say it was an hour ago.
Let's say it was 53 minutes ago. And
the next 7 minutes is free.
So we might have some audio coming in, whether it was directed at us or not. So that we thought that
it'll be our first call.
Yeah. We thought that would be
a beautiful.
That could be interesting. So.
This could be a good test, though, because we always want call-ins.
Well,
we could have our phones out here, and people could call in, and if it picks up the mic,
I don't have the 7-second delayed dump button either. So we'll see what happens.
This is a family show, so we want to make sure that we keep language at a somewhat of a peaceful.
So let's talk about really kind of what it is here. And the thing is, look, let me preface all this by saying that, look, I really don't.
Can you post this?
What? Post this? Preface?
Could you tell something way at at the end? Like, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you.
Well, in a book they call it a preface, and they have a thing of postscript.
Postscript. Yeah.
So I'm gonna preface this by saying I really, really, really
isn't everything a preface though?
Don't care. Do not care if people want to put stuff on their jersey and everything else. I don't want to watch it. And I'll be honest, I don't want to watch a sporting event and be sucked up in the political aspects of it of any side. I watch sporting events to get away from it. That being said, what I've seen in recent weeks, months, is people feel like they need to find their voice. Not only find their voice, but share their voice. Fine.
Do they get to choose what they have on
I suppose they do.
Or just like,
they may have like a menu.
Number 19, you get this.
I think it's a menu they can do this. And some players choose not to do it. Fine. Whatever.
Are there multiples of the same team?
Yeah. Sometimes you see a lot of peace or whatever. Right. But I don't, again, doesn't matter to me. I'm not there to watch it. As a matter of fact, I am of the ilk that says, I don't think football, especially baseball too, I like how the Yankees don't put names on the back of the jerseys. Football teams shouldn't put the name on the back of jerseys either, but that's not the point here. The point here is the thoughts that I've had as a result of seeing what people have chosen to put on there. I'm thinking they're missing a golden opportunity to share a great message to their people. And so we're going to talk about that give you a little bit of historical background on it. We'll show some of the ones that we've seen.
Isn't here everything recently. Historical?
Well, not if it's could be prehistoric. Before, why do they call it prehistoric?
When did history start?
That means before history.
They're like, oh shoot, that was before history.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So we're gonna cover that. That's a whole nother show.
That is a show.
So this jersey, I'm calling it jersey messaging thing, and let's be careful to say we're not talking about jersey people and whatever it is they say. But they got their own messaging going on. But we're talking about uniforms, athletic jerseys, and putting the message on the back of them. When did this really start? I mean, you can go back probably to, and I got an image of it here.
George Floyd.
But this really started, as far as I remember, was this guy right here. This guy. Name was Rod Smart. Rod Smart was a football player. Rod Smart. For the XFL. When the XFL first came out back in 2001, they allowed them to put stuff on there.
Did it start with World Peace? Who was the guy?
No, he just changed his name to Meta World Peace.
Who was that?
That was Ron Artest. No, even before that.
It was not. It was another guy, a little point guard.
No, you're thinking of World Be Free.
World Be Free.
Lloyd Free back in the 70s. They played for the Sixers, yeah. But he changed his name. He didn't have a message on his back. He just played basketball.
Would it be awesome if we just started changing our name? Let's just start changing our name.
I think you can do that. You can change your gender. Why not your name?
Jake? Dude. I mean, that's just the way I feel.
We should talk about that. That's another episode. That is definitely an episode.
Change your name? Yeah. We should go out on the streets for that. If you could change your name to something, what would it be?
We'd have to give people time. for that, probably.
Can we go out on the streets? Do we have the technology?
Sure.
What streets do we go out on?
Right here in front of the house.
Just out in Wakefield?
Get the walkers.
Can we go up to the people up the street and say end racism now?
You can talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, he hate me. Anyway, he hate me. So it started with that. 2001. We're talking 19 years ago. Did you just unmute us?
Yeah.
Why
not?
All right.
See what happens.
That's not a good idea. So and since then, a few years ago, Naval Academy football team had, and maybe Army did too, but I know Navy did this. They put things like honor, courage, integrity on the back of their jerseys. I mean, instead of names and everything else. And there were no more messages than that.
Me first.
Yeah. Yeah.
I win. Shotgun.
Yeah. So there was none of that. There was no politicizing the game. They just kind of said, "Hey, this is our code. This is our code with the Naval Academy." Fine. Again, fine. So I'm watching college football this weekend, and this is some recent, not just college football, but other sports as well. But this is what I see. Now keep in mind. Well, let me hold that thought for a second.
Wait, should we still keep in mind, or can we get out of
Keep in mind that I have a thought that I'm going to hold.
All right.
Help me out.
It's like the weather.
So we have
coming up next is the 7-day forecast.
But then they come back with something else, and then they're teasing you.
Start telling us about where the fronts are and all that stupid stuff. Just give us the temperature, and is it going to rain?
Why would you even watch the news for that?
Why does the weather always give us the percentage of rain? Why is it not the other way around?
Percentage of sun?
Yeah, like there's an 80% chance it's not going to rain today.
I found that here in the South, with that whole weather thing, when they say the summer day in the South, it always says 30% chance of rain. Always. Because you know that, like, if you're the weather person, and you say 30% chance of rain today, and it rains, then you say,
"You're right.
I said 30%."
Yeah.
Or if it doesn't, it's only 30%.
Yeah, it wasn't really going to rain.
Right.
I mean, what were the chances? The chances were 70% the other way.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever question them?
No, didn't that one guy?
What's weather rate?
Who was the guy that?
Remember, they always are like, we're like #1 weather rate.
Oh, I don't know. I don't watch
weather rate people. They're going to be like,
I don't watch weather. You probably watch Murder, She Wrote too.
I mean, I do like that, but
Family Feud, Murder, She Wrote.
I mean, they should just have the weather. The weather should just be like a little ticker, like it's just on the side of it. I mean, there's so much.
It is on the Weather Channel.
It's a good point. But then you got to look at weather from like Texas and Midwest.
Like some tornado from 1964.
Right? They should just have the weather on like the side of the screen, because all it does is distract from us knowing what the COVID numbers are. I mean, and they're updating that like every minute.
They got that on the screen without weather.
Oh, the other guy got it. Oh, no, wait. No, that was just the flu.
False positive.
Remember the flu?
No.
God.
Apparently it doesn't exist.
Remember back in like 2019 when people used to get that thing called the flu?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. And car accidents.
And heart attacks.
And like natural causes.
It's amazing.
Remember that?
It's weird how that stuff's going on. So, I was watching one of the top teams in the country, Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not calling Clemson. I think other teams did too. And I'm not calling anybody else. What I'm saying is that was the example.
Most of them aren't playing this year.
That's the example that I saw was turn on the TV national game of the week, and you got players out there. I was like, God, look at that guy's last name. His last name is Vogt.
What are the chances?
What? His last name's enough. Wait, they got two Peace guys? Like, then I figured it out. I said, oh,
like,
so they're putting it. Now, some players chose not to. They used their regular name. And then I was thinking,
do any of them
really?
Do they say stay home? Stay safe?
Stay at home, stay safe. # stay safe. I didn't see that. But I thought, okay, well, this kind of all started this summer with the NBA, right? The NBA was doing things, and we saw some examples of this, and I guess the Black Lives Matter movement and everything else. And The one here, though, you got a couple on here that just make me scratch my head. You're going out there on a professional basketball court. It says defund police. I mean, come on. Okay, defund police. And one of them says, one of them is my funny. I think it's probably the funniest here is no, I don't know if anyone was questioning this guy.
What does it say?
He says, "I am a man. I am a man." I thought if he wasn't a man, then they'd be playing the WNBA. But I guess we're not allowed to question that. So if you're not allowed to question it, it's like the old "don't ask, don't tell." Nobody asks you if you're a man or not. But he says, "Nope, I'm a man."
I'm a man. It's not a song.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe it's just a lyric then. Maybe it's not a statement.
Again, I have no problem with what they do.
They should put lyrics on the back.
They can put whatever they want as far as I'm concerned. As long as the league, as long as the owner of the team says you can do whatever you want.
You know some good lyrics.
I would say, well, right now we'd say safety dance. I would say, you can go where you want to, you're free, and so am I. If your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance with a no friend of mine. But that's a lot. That's a
lot of letters.
I might put karma, 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 chameleon. And on the front, you come and go. What are those songs?
That's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. Why do we need numbers? Be like the ref would be like, foul, karma, 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 karma. Make the refs start to sing, other than just like showing their biceps.
Yeah, I'm going.
Where's
number
the
5? Where's come me?
Why have the NFL refs not come out with a workout video for just biceps?
They're all jacked.
Everybody goes like,
and they're like 60.
I know.
They are jacked.
Yeah, they get little pencil legs,
like everybody
punch bellies, but biceps and forearms sometimes.
Well, just think for how long they wore those like little knickers, like the white knickers.
Why didn't they have like giant calves back then?
I don't think they have that. It's all bicep.
It's all biceps. That's what I'm saying. They need to come up with their own workout video where it's just a bunch of reps that are in the gym and you're just like.
But would they have to wear masks now? Video?
They'd be like.
Now they don't take their mask off down the thing because they're not allowed to have whistles. They have these electric whistles that weren't working, like that weren't loud enough, right?
They run out there like, wait a minute,
stop!
Stop playing football!
Yeah.
You think they did that before the whistle? Like before they came out with the whistle, did we have football?
I'm sure they did. I don't think the back leather helmet, but
the leather helmet. That was awesome.
Leather helmet.
Yeah, this will be good. All that was
How do you say that?
Designed for? I know. Here, run into this wall without this leather thing on. Now run into the wall with the leather thing on.
That's true. Hey, so Clemson's like this guy, by the way, TV on this guy's ranking Clemson number 1. So you got your number 1 team that's got their message out there. So as I was watching this weekend, I was like, you know what? There is a golden opportunity for a college age kid. So think about these players. They're 18 to 22 years old, right?
Influenced.
18 to 22 years. Now, part of the problem I have with this is not the fact that they have messages on there and anything else. They're allowed to do that. They're probably going to do it. But they're being manipulated, by the way. You've got all these special interest groups that are wanting to manipulate an 18 to 22-year-old kid to give their message out. When these 18 to 22-year-old kids probably don't really have a full understanding of what it means.
You don't think so?
No.
Come on. They know what they're doing.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they know what they're doing.
They know on the surface.
They don't know what they're doing as like a 40-year-old.
I don't think they don't.
They know what they're doing as an 18-year-old.
Oh, sure. But
they don't understand the consequences of it because they've never done anything other than just...
That's what I'm saying, is that they're willing to say that they're not thinking, how is this going to reflect on me or affect me, blah, 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 down the road. They're not thinking that way. And they probably, most 18 to 22-year-old men, I can speak for women, 18 to 22-year-old men don't think about those long-term consequences. So they're being manipulated by people that say, hey, we can get them to put our message out there and everything. Just play the game. And then later on, do the right thing. But again, not this episode. What I thought of was with this opportunity, I found some better suited Jersey messaging that could happen.
Well, let's see what they
And so I'm going to share some of my thoughts here. And of course, you can comment on these.
I comment or interrupt?
Yes.
Both?
Yeah. So, and these are no particular order of importance.
That's what I would have in the back of my shirt when I came to the radio or the podcast.
Comment or interrupt?
My thing would be just interrupt. I'm going to interrupt.
So here's one of them. Simple. Go to class. Just put up go to class. You're dealing with college kid and everything else. The students can see it and they say, oh, that's a message. I should hear that message. I should probably go to class.
I think there's a lot of positive to that.
I should go to class.
That's a good start.
Graduate. Graduate. Now somebody will say, graduate? Well, he's a graduate. Why is he still playing it? Graduate.
Just do it.
You're student athlete, not athlete student.
No. That's pretty good. That'll end up on a shirt.
How about this one? Call mom.
Why are you looking right into the camera?
Because I can tell you right now that my dad would always say when I was calling collect, he'd call collect.
Oh yeah.
Will you accept the charges from? Yeah, call me back on this number. Well, we had a thing though. It was like it wasn't tippy toe, but he knew like when they would do the collect call thing and he wouldn't accept it, but right. He would they would hear the name. Mr.
Bale.
Will you accept the collect call from
Bale?
Tippy toe. Here we go. No, and then he called.
Yeah. Will you accept the charges from Need Money?
Think about that too. That wasn't that long ago that we were paying for long distance.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And you remember the time when
parents would go through the bill?
Yeah.
What is this number right here for 23 minutes?
To a 976 number. 1-900 numbers 1976.
900. Wait, well, is that?
That was like porn or something. Yeah. If we're on the phone, what's that? I mean,
it's weird.
Anyway, you're not calling 976 or 900 to call. Hopefully. Just throwing that out there. But that's another good one, right? Good, healthy college,
yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. How about wash your sheets? Wash your sheets.
You brought something else up on your screen here.
Yeah, it was not on the screen. Washing your sheets. I mean, that's...
these
are things that mom would say, right? Yeah, you make sure you wash your
sheets. Put sheets on that prison bed that you had in college. They had the little blue stripes down it, and you just you put it on the metal frame with the.
Well, it had the metal frame had like springs. Yeah. They weren't really springs; they were just wires. Yeah. Dorm rooms. Shared bathroom. Could you imagine now with all the COVID stuff? Like you share the bathroom.
So they send kids home. It's so dangerous.
Yeah, but they don't have dorms like that anymore. They all have their own bathroom and whatnot. Here's another one. Eat more veggies.
You know what?
Eat more veggies.
That would mean less diabetes. That would lower the COVID rate. Imagine that.
There's messaging here that I think they can take advantage of. So these are like common sense was everything, but I did kind of step outside the box a little bit here and came up with something that I thought would really resonate.
I think it's a good time to
bring
share them. Yeah.
How about we're going streaking? No! We're going streaking. I think that'd be a good one. What was it? I wonder if they would be allowed to do that. Streaking?
Yeah. When? What's the story on that?
I just did it last week.
Now,
when I go streaking, the problem is when I go streaking, it becomes a 3-legged race. See what I did there? All right, so that's we going streaking. Let's see, a couple more of these. How about just slump busting it? Oh, you don't know what that is, huh?
I mean, I don't get out much, apparently.
My baseball people would understand this. So it was always, if you were in a slump, not hitting well, anything, the key was losing. The key was, or not the rule, the unwritten rule was called get a slump buster. And a slump buster was go out with a sizable chick for the evening. And now, I was never in a slump. But I understand it works. So I think that just slump busting it. And I think this is the last one for the college ones, which is
usually the best.
My personal favorite. No, it's not the second last one.
Don't
major in gender studies.
I mean, you'd have to curl that like way up.
That's like Karma Chameleon.
The best, yeah.
But I mean, that's a good message. And again, gender studies is fine, but don't major in it. What are you possibly going to do with gender studies?
You can minor in that.
Yeah, but that's. I don't think you can because there's so many genders now that you have to take a lot of classes.
Right. I mean, in your case, you could probably like double up on that, and you're slump busting. You ever do that?
No.
Commercial break. Time out. Commercial break.
There you go. I think this is it. Yeah, there she is. If she ugly at 10 p.m., she'd be even uglier at 8 a.m. You think about it. You know, as you go through the night party, she's looking better. But if she wouldn't look good at 10 o'clock at night, she ain't going to look good at 10 o'clock in the morning.
How do you fit that on a jersey?
Oh, that can go around.
Right. I mean, it's probably
I think that's
valuable enough.
The most important message.
Yeah, like the number on the back of the jersey should be that big, and that should be out there. And that should be the player that is constantly on camera.
That is probably the most important message that they could probably share.
I would think so. Those are good. You got another one?
No, but I've got, I don't have any listed, but
okay.
Do you have any, like, additional college? Think about when you were in college and, like, what advice would you give to college Jake that you're like, God, I wish I'd known that. I mean, these are ones I thought. I was like, God, I wish somebody told me to eat more veggies. Because I did go to class. I did graduate. I did wash my sheets here and there.
I mean, I did go straight more veggies.
I don't think I slump busted. I didn't major in gender studies. There were times when I didn't like fully digest the last one, which I probably should.
I mean, it's just such a well thought out list. I don't know that I can add to it.
All right. Well, we're going to pivot here because the next.
Oh, that's a good word. Pivot. Put that on the back of your shirt. Pivot.
Yeah. Pivot or nuance. Isn't that what I always say? Nuance. We're going to go into. I came up with some professions, some jobs, that pretty normal and everything else that I want Jake to say what should be on the back of their jersey if they were wearing a jersey or a uniform. What he would think should be on the back of their jerseys or their uniform. And so we'll tackle that. Yeah, what would their jersey message be? Okay. We'll tackle that after a brief break. After a brief break.
They're not going to know we're going on a break.
Well, yeah, we pause it here, and then we'll get into that. So we're pausing. All right, so now we're like I said,
we're back.
We're pivoting. Yes, we're pivoting.
You have to tell them we're back.
Well, it really doesn't matter to them because it's streaming.
What is it like all of a sudden we were like this, and all of a sudden we're like.
Like the stand-in.
We should have tried to do that.
When Kramer was the stand-in, and they had the little midget. Yeah. What was his name? Jackie.
Yeah.
Hey, something different about it.
You're
something different. I don't know what it is, but there's something different. What was his name? Jackie, wasn't it? Wasn't Jackie the little midget friend he had? They did the stand-in for the actor.
I forget his name.
Anyway. So anywho, I thought, let's think about or talk about the.
Wait, don't we want to say that?
Oh yeah, our special guest
has been listening the whole time, trying to catch us. And then
we'll call our special guest Donna.
Sure. Yeah, we'll just come up with a random name.
So Donna's calling in. I mean, we've got our first call in here. And Donna, is there anything you want to say so far from the show?
I have a question.
Oh boy.
Is pivoting a COVID word?
No. Pivoting was they're using.
I've heard pivoting.
They're using a lot now.
Wait, she's asking a serious question?
No, but this is a good question.
Okay.
Yeah. It is it's been bogarted by COVID.
Basketball in college.
Yeah, you're a pivot.
Yeah, and I know pivoting,
Mm-hmm.
and I've heard pivoting more since COVID. So I'm wondering your thought on that.
That's a good question. And now that you ask it, I think about, yes, basketball, he's down the pivot, you pivot with your pivot foot, all that. Yes. So the thing I think about when we talked about euphemisms before, whenever you hear somebody say, yeah, that's right, it was a show.
That was a show.
When you hear somebody use the term pivot, politically speaking, all that means is that's their way of excusing them for changing their position on something.
A flip-flop.
Yes.
You have not heard flip-flop the entire year.
Because
I want a flip-flop.
Well, I think the media finds these words that they say, and both sides of the coin, both sides of the aisle, but they'll say, well, they're pivoting from that, or they're changing the focus from terrorism to blaming so-and-so for COVID, right? So they're pivoting on their story. And that's really why you're seeing a lot. Yes, and Donna, that's a good observation, because you are seeing a lot more, which is why I used it here, because we're current event kind of stuff, right?
You have any other questions?
And it happens in life. You sort of start hearing people use different words, and then all of a sudden it becomes such a mainstream. So,
that's
the other
a
thing
show.
is when people say, right? That's another new thing in the last couple of years.
Right. Okay, so
Do
right.
I have to agree with you right
right?
now? Like, when somebody says right, like they're encouraging me to agree with them,
or they're wanting to be assured that what they're thinking is right.
So we have
His right though, is it with a W or an R?
Yeah, no, of course it's with a W.
Thank you.
Come on.
Thank you. Let's see what you did.
So people are just injecting your name into conversation constantly?
I mean, maybe.
In vain.
It's
In vain.
mainstream.
Right. Now if they say right, it's like shit.
Right. Right. Yeah. Right.
I'll tell you what I think I may have caused it to go mainstream here is I have instead of like using the Lord's name in vain, like Jesus Christ, or I'm just using an example here, but Jesus Christ, or God damn it, I started saying for fuck's sake, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, for fuck's sake.
So much better.
Well, it is. It's not like there's nothing in the Bible that says don't say for fuck's sake in vain, right?
I mean, I think you're covering your. I think
You're
when you
right.
get to the gates,
You are
they're
going
gonna be like, St. Peter, listen. I did everything I could to not use the Lord's name in vain. How many times did you hear me say, for fuck's sake? And they're gonna be like, they're gonna have the entire printout of every time you said it
per day. I mean, I would like to see. No, I don't want to see, but if I saw like per day, how many times I say for fuck's sake?
I mean, that's good. You know what? The other one that's really good, that's extremely popular right now, is shit show.
Yeah.
Everybody says shit show.
Shit show, but I found one that's cleaner, but describes a lot of stuff. Is dumpster fire. I like when somebody says, "Well, that's just a dumpster fire," right? It's just Because it's just garbage and it smells like ass and like there might be a
Pretty much
homeless
just like a
person
pond
there.
fire, like Seattle or Portland.
But it's hard to say.
Not like your car's on fire.
It's hard to say a police precinct on fire.
Yeah.
That's a long thing.
How's your day going? Well, it's not like your car's on fire in a riot. Because that's a peaceful protest.
Well, that's a great lead-in to this. Because I'm going to put up some...
lead-in. That's a whole other one.
Lead up.
Lead up, lead in, lead over, lead on, lead.
So I'm going to put up some jobs. And was it Donna? Was that the name?
Yes.
Okay.
Donna.
Donna, you're not going to see these, so you'll hear me say them. Jake's going to have them come up on the screen in front of him, and he's going to, and this probably ain't going to be easy, yo, for him to describe what it would say, what their jersey should say based on the job that they have, right?
Okay, let's do it.
All right, so the first one here is cable guy.
Cable guy. Cable guy.
You want to do? Should I paint a picture a little bit though to kind of help you with this?
I mean, anytime you can paint a picture.
Okay.
Let's do it. Sounds like you have a picture to paint.
So let's just say that you
you wouldn't have asked the question if you didn't have a picture to paint.
well, you move. Let's just say you move. Let's just say you move to a
Elderly
retirement community, right? And you're 53, let's say. And you sell your house in a neighborhood that you lived in a while and everything else, and you're like, yeah, you know what, I want to move closer to work, and you end up moving to like whether you knew it or not, you end up realizing that it's really a retirement community. It's they don't call it that, but it's patio homes that are close to less yard maintenance and things like that as you evolve. And
I've heard those are out there.
And you say, okay, so you're gonna get your cable. You want your cable hooked up so you have internet, right? And so the cable guy that comes out, what would they have on the back of their uniform, or should they have?
Your explanation did nothing to help me with my answer. I thought that's what
See,
you
I'm
meant by,
thinking.
like, painting.
I'm thinking.
Okay.
I'll be there between Monday and Thursday. That's so you gotta think of what do you think of when you see these professions? What's the first thing that comes to your head that everybody knows but
So
nobody says?
What if you just reduce that down to be there?
Be there when it
Be there.
Well, I mean
Dot.
that's a good one.
There we go.
So I had fiber put in my house. I dropped the cable. And they hooked me up.
A picture again?
They hooked me up. Hooked it up to my house 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. But the people that hook it up don't bury the cable. They don't bury the cable.
You play jump rope for 3 weeks.
So it was 3 weeks that cable was sitting out there. 3 weeks.
No. I'll be there. Dot.
That's a good one. All right, let's look at the next one here. Fast food worker. Think of when you go to a fast food.
Do you want to paint another picture?
No. I'll let you know.
I know you have a picture.
I didn't have
in your head.
I'll just say this: the picture that I have of a fast food worker, with the exception of Chick-fil-A, I would say let's exclude Chick-fil-A.
Yeah. Jesus Christ
Is
on the back of the on the back of it.
On Chick-fil-A, it would say
Savior.
It would say
Chicken
Jesus
Savior.
Christ. It would have a fish.
Chicken Savior.
Even if they sell chicken, they'd have the fish symbol.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking non-Chick-fil-A, let's just say McDonald's, it might say, well, one of them, for fuck's sake. No. But the picture that I have, and you gotta come up with
heart
with
disease. How about that? Heart disease. How about obesity?
Think of the feet shuffling of how slow they move to get your stuff, and how many times they screw up your order.
I still think the obesity is good. I think
obesity matters.
Yeah. Is that the chair?
That was about like
That was your leg on the chair? Are you sure? Isn't it funny when you try to blame something else for a fart, you can never replicate the sound again?
Gus Bowen, 9th grade. I remember sitting in front of me. Of course, I called him out on it, right? Like, oh man, he put arms in my chair. I'm like, do it again. He couldn't replicate it.
You can never replicate it.
Listen, Matters going to have a month?
What's that?
Is Obesity Matters going to have a month?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, Obesity Month, July. July is Obesity Month.
Is it my birthday? Because I'm obese.
Well, I mean, we can lead up to the end of the month. The thing about the fart too is that when you want to fart for fun, that's one thing. When you fart and you're worried about the audience and participation, you're constant. They could be talking to you and the fart slips out and you're not hearing a thing they say because you're watching their expression.
You're suppressing.
Are they going to catch? Are they going to get this? Is this going to hit them? And you start.
You know,
I can breathe it in. I can breathe it out.
I may have shared this in another episode, but my grandmother used to say this, and she was a proper Catholic woman, whatever that means. But
is that an oxymoron?
I think so.
No.
But she would always ask the question. She'd say, "Christopher, do you know why farts smell?" And I would always want to hear the punchline. I'd be, "Oh no, Grandma, why do farts smell?" She goes, "So deaf people can enjoy them too."
I mean, that's blind people too.
Well, you don't see. I hope you don't see them.
Like no, but if you're all right, think about this. If you're blind, think about the experience of a random fart to a blind person. They're just sitting there because all their senses are up there. They're just like, what? Dude, what? What the hell is that? Who is that? Who was that? They start taking their little poker, seeing who's around.
Who's tense? Who's like clenching?
I mean, that would be kind of fun. You see a blind
person.
Well,
we're doing the blind thing. Remember I'm going to be
around them, and they're just like,
we're doing a show with me blind.
Oh, wait, you're blind?
Yeah.
And I'm deaf.
Mm-hmm.
And we're switching? Too? We're going to do like that?
Yeah, that's a different show. All right, so that was a fast food word. Right. Next
Did
up.
you come up with one? Okay.
Exotic dancer. Exotic dancer.
I mean, they don't actually wear shirts, do they?
That's my point. So there's got to be.
They would have to really commit. They would have to commit more than any of these people because it would have to be a tattoo.
Mm-hmm. You're not as good at this stuff, though.
Well, I don't have a lot of experience with this one, so.
Well, when you think of exotic dancers, what should they have
on them?
Well, like whatever, like a jersey or whatever. If they're wearing it, or a tattoo, in this case.
Think the audience can hear that?
Yes. It's a very sensitive microphone.
It's like a.
No, it's one.
So that's annoying.
I'm gonna go with from. You ever see the movie We're the Millers?
Mm-hmm.
Boner Garage.
I mean, it's the best I'm gonna offer.
We'll go with that one.
Next.
Flight attendant. Your experiences with flight attendants would dictate and say what?
Would you like ice? Or how about peanuts?
How about
peanuts?
Wait, peanuts?
Penis?
No, it's more like this.
No, it should be P-U-N-U-S. Penis?
Like
that's
Venus?
what they do. They come around. Well, that was before, of course. All of a sudden, we had like the peanut stupid allergy, and everybody had to get pretzels. But they would literally come down the aisle and they'd be like, penis? Penis? Penis?
I'm going to go with, I'm here for your safety.
No, stop that.
That's what they say all the time. They're on their phones.
They're not. Listen, they are not there for your safety. They're there for peanuts. Pretzels.
I'm here for. Then you know what I would have, what they should say? I'm thinking, bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for flying with us.
Bye-bye.
Like you really were like choosing the crew. You're not choosing the crew. You're choosing the fastest, cheapest way to earn the most miles that you possibly can.
And right now, I'm not.
You're not flying with them. And they all say the exact same thing. We know you have a choice in airline, and we appreciate you flying with us. We're like, dude, listen, we did what was best for us. We didn't do it. We didn't choose you. There was no like.
You're like,
you know
angry.
what? Huh?
You're angry at this one.
Well, there's a little anger because I think it's. I don't think it's genuine. I don't think I don't think there's any sincerity because they all say the exact same thing. Just like blowing this tube to inflate the stupid thing that was just disgustingly underneath the seat that people were farting on.
I think that at that point, though, if you have to use it,
right,
then you don't care about that.
I mean, what are the chances?
And why do we have like you're flying over the land, like you're flying over the, what they call it, the red states or whatever. Yeah. Why are we even talking about landing?
Yeah, why are you even doing that? Why is the safety thing the exact same? It should be like, listen, if we land this thing in Kansas, just make sure that your affairs are in order. Because there's no soft spot there.
Yeah.
We're going into a field. There's going to be some fucking popcorn all over the place because we just went through a cornfield and
at 2,000 degrees.
Yeah. I really think they need to change that. I'm going to call another show. I got some time.
How about gender studies professor?
Pat.
Pat.
It's Pat. Professor Pat. The blue Oxford shirt with the pockets. You can't tell what's going on inside there. We're gonna have a pop quiz.
I'm just thinking one says you can't say this or that. You're not allowed to say anything, right?
Yeah.
You say you can't
choose
say
your
that.
gender.
You can't hashtag. You can't say that.
When they started doing that with the kids, with the what's your pronoun?
Mm-hmm. Hey,
man,
this is what we're developing here.
Juliana was the only one I think that really had to deal with that, and I was on the edge. I was going down there. But
I think I have to believe that
she's so
more than half of the administrators really don't want to deal with that stuff. They don't want to.
I don't think Jake and Greg had to deal with that because if they did, they probably would have been like thrown out of their class because they would have probably said something. Julian is very, don't rock the boat.
She's a line cover.
Answer the question. Don't drive Dad's Jeep with the Trump stickers on it.
How about mainstream journalist?
Fake news.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Your name was Donna, right?
Yes.
Donna, if a mainstream journalist was wearing a jersey and wanted to have a message, what would they have? And just take ABC, NBC, CBS, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, whatever. What do you think that what would their message be or should be that would most appropriately align with their type of work that they do?
I'm not sure of the question.
Biden level.
How about this?
So, no.
Okay.
So, you're asking what...
I'm asking. If they had a message, if you take I don't even know who the people are anymore. Who are the people that do the news reading? Like
Dan Rather.
Well, yeah, but he's not anymore. But let's just use whoever does Dan Rather's job, or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
Lester Holt.
Lester Holt.
Or
He's,
Anderson Cooper. Or
well, he's not a really journalist.
who's the white-haired guy that's on CNN all the time?
That's Anderson Cooper, but he's not really like Lester Holt does the news. You know, he's supposedly a journalist.
Wait, what's the guy that does the ABC News at night, Donna? You watch
David Muir.
David
Muir. David Muir. All right, let's take David Muir.
I do not watch him.
Well, but we know what we're talking about, all right? David Muir. So he does ABC News tonight, right? So what would you think if he had the opportunity to wear a jersey that had a message on it, a jersey message? What would it likely be?
Oh gosh.
Think about the position. Think about the journalist now.
Maybe just no face. How about that?
No face.
No
Like
face.
instead of preface, no face.
No face.
I'm gonna say
no faith. Is what
face. You said
faith.
Face.
face,
F-A-C-E. No face.
like preface, but no face.
No faith.
I'm gonna say America is bad.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
America evil. That's what I'm going with. And we're moving on.
But he has no personality.
No,
He has zero personality.
He's got that weird thing where he does this with his. Wait, hold on.
because he's got a fart.
He's like,
He's got,
he's always got his elbow up. Like,
hey, told you, where's the elbow? I knew that was gonna take off. Community organizer.
I would say future governor. Shut down.
Shut down.
Shut down. Shut down. Not even no T. Shut down with a no N. Shut down.
Shut down.
Shut down.
I'm gonna say get other people's money. See me for other people's money.
You guys giving sentences. You got to come up with a word. Like
No.
shut down. That's a word. That's a phrase. That's like a catch thing. Like
I'll say this.
shut down.
I'll say this. This 2 words. Capitalism bad.
You couldn't even hear somebody say shut down because they would have a mask on.
Shut down.
How about
Shut down.
try harder?
Try harder. Yeah.
No, they're not going to try
They're
harder.
opposite of that, but that's
No, it's not in a positive way.
Try harder.
I think I got one more here.
Give me a long show.
Peaceful protester. Peaceful
How about just
protester.
that?
How about
How about pig?
yeah, die pig die. That would be like he hate me. It'd be like die pig die. That's what they would do.
And people say, well, that's not a profession. It is a profession because people are actually paid to do this. They get paid. They're
You make a
paid
great
agitators. So it is a profession.
Like I don't get any money for aggravating people, and I do it a lot. Like
we pay people to aggravate.
I mean, I'm an aggravating person, and I do it 100% volunteer. I don't get paid for it.
Pro bono.
Right. That's why Donna's on the phone right now because I aggravate. Right?
Wait, what's your name?
Yeah. I don't have a name. Mr. Coach.
No, your name is the Armenian agitator.
I know. I do it for free. I do it because I like it, but in a fun way.
But you don't get paid.
People like it. You know I'm
So was it-
jovial.
No, what was his name? Stuart Spalding? Doggone it, people like me.
Yeah.
So those are jobs.
That's good.
But we should all think of jerseys that these people could wear. And I think everybody, no matter
What kind
your
of jersey
profession.
is it? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's go back through here.
All right, so let's go Cable Guy. Well, Cable Guy has the...
Yeah, he's got the worker shirt.
Yeah.
So whatever we came up with, his would be a patch on a gray shirt.
With some sort of fake
Cursive.
cursive. Fake cursive, right?
Yeah.
The fast food worker would be like a name badge. Right?
Yeah.
Could be like a name badge.
Yeah.
Like you used to have that old, remember that thing you, the strips of bread that had the, what do you call those things? Where you crimp them?
Yeah.
The exact answer we determined was going to be a tattoo.
Obviously.
Yeah. The flight attendant.
Flight attendant would be on their apron.
Yeah. Would be on their apron. Gender studies professor would be on their sweater. I think we said that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mainstream journalist.
Suit.
Suit.
It'd be a pin. It would be a pin, like a decorative, like round pin with some sort of a weird kind of Obama-like little thing.
The community organizer would definitely be on like a handmade bracelet with leather.
And it would, then they would also have like the folded card on the front of their work desk with the leather chair and the metal desk. And you'd come in and that'd be the only thing on like the reserve sign. Right. It would look like this.
But it would be cardboard or whatever.
Yeah.
The peaceful protester.
I mean, that would be spray paint, obviously,
on
a building.
Yep. All good answers.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've been able to just define all of this. What else you got?
Well,
this is the awkward ending. The awkward ending. Ideally, I have 4% left on my phone. It says my battery may die. So
I think we opened the floor.
I'm probably not going to be able to call Donna on my ride home.
Or it's done.
So I'll probably get Donna. You're gonna have to yell at me later on because my phone's at 5% because you have been on the phone for 1 hour, 53 minutes, and 32 seconds.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's eating up my battery.
My phone is black. I don't know what's going on with my phone.
All right, well,
it's working.
There's a chance the call will end because my battery's going to die, and that will probably end right. So, I thought it was a pretty good show.
Pretty good awkward ending there, but just remember, I mean, you can go to YouTube and search our channel at Now That's a Show.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So,
we're just building. That sounds good. I will have to do that.
Yeah, you should do that. So, see you next time.
We get to look at the camera now?
Oh, no. That's a show. Anything you want to add at the end there?
Is it over?
Not yet.
All right.